The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. It is what it is. You saw the title, so why should I reiterate that? You can read, right? How are you? Good to be with you. This is what I do for a living. Not here. I stop into the studio once a week to do the visual version of what I do every single weekday for the past 30 years. What the hell's wrong with me? Hey, it's not a hard way to earn a living, but it works, and this is it. I do this so that you can watch me move my hands every once in a while. Other than that, nothing's really going to happen. There are no theatrical plays here. No one's going to scratch their head a lot. I don't make like facial gestures like, I don't do that. I don't cover my eyes or play with my face. I don't do that. So I don't even know why you're here. I know you don't either. What? Were you waiting for the school committee meeting? I don't know. Thank you very much. What I do on this show and what I've always done is I point out things that make no sense. I have a treasure trove of of material because nothing makes any sense, and the longer I live, the less things make sense at all. So this is just wonderful. On my regular radio web thing, and the radio syndicated thing, I do interviews on every show on every weekday, and I speak to interesting people. But here, I just monologue. I just talk. You can't call me. I can't call you. We can't swap spit. Not that we should do that anyway. I don't interview anybody. Nothing. Just nothing. I don't know why you're here. Why are you here? Am I a filler between those little bulletins that are on the screen, like for the library? Am I just like a filler in between for that for half an hour? I think so. But you know what? I don't care. It's fine, whatever. Whatever is my favorite phrase. I used to find that incredibly annoying. I thought only Generation P. Actually, I'm Generation P. I'm the one that gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning to pee. So I'm Generation P. But I'm not that, and it's like, whatever. I always thought that was very annoying. And then as I grew up and started hearing the phrase, I thought, it actually applies. I mean, whatever is actually a stress relief mechanism. I thought playing with rocks in your hands or those little twisty, spinny things was like a stress reliever. No, it's taking the attitude of whatever. Hey, Ron, your car, you're low on the back tire. You could get into an accident if you don't have equal pressure in all the tires. Whatever. Hey, Ron, your wife is fooling around with another. Whatever. It's a stress relief thing. It really is. It really is. Your cat is like limping and looks horrible. Whatever. Cat can take care of itself. It just licks itself and everything's fine. Wouldn't that be great? Instead of going to the doctor, oh, my elbow hurts. I'm not going to go to the doctor. I'm just going to lick it. And if it actually got better, wouldn't that be incredible? It'd be wonderful. And that's an example of what I do. And you earn a living doing this? Yeah, quite successfully, unfortunately. Anyway, a couple of days ago, because the weather is getting a little bit warmer, just turned the heat on a couple of days ago. And by the way, I don't know when you're watching this. This could be like, could have been 3 years ago that I'm telling you what happened here. But, so it got warmer and whatever. A fly got into my house. Oh, my God. A fly got into my house. Now, I don't have any real bond with flies. I do like to capture them and then set them free because I feel godlike in that sense, and I feel like I'm going to go to heaven because I saved the life of a living thing. I mean, a fly is a living thing, is annoying and disease-filled. It serves no purpose as it is. I don't think Noah gathered 2 flies. I don't think 2 flies were on the ark. Actually, if you have enough elephants and enough animals, you'll get the flies anyway. Noah didn't even have to gather them. There were a lot more than 2, I guarantee you. But flies are fascinating. So this fly got into my house. And it was over there, and then like within a split second, it was over there, and I couldn't tell if that was the same fly or if there are now 2 flies in my house. And the reason is, and I'm not being racist, I'm really not. I'm the furthest thing from that because I grew up in New York City. So, I mean, you know, mixed cultures, my game, baby. That's my game. But I gotta say, all flies look alike. I know each fly has its own personality. I know that, you know, just because you look like another fly doesn't mean you can make a blanket statement about all flies, but we do that. No one complains about that. You know, you say something about one fly, and then you group all the flies into the actions of that one fly. Yeah, I guess I do. That's not right, Ron. That's not right to do. Each fly has its own individual personality. All right, whatever. And I'm thinking, you know, like, why do we call them that? Why did this one insect get the privilege of being called a fly? There are a lot of things that fly. Birds fly. But we call them birds. It's something that they do. They fly. But we don't call them flies. We should. We should call birds flies. We shouldn't call them birds. Yeah, I have a fly feeder in my backyard. All the flies, all the different varieties of flies come in. They fly in. That's why we call them flies. No, they're called birds. We don't call them flies. We somehow anoint the actual greatest name of action for what they are to these little stinking insects. Those are flies. Are mosquitoes flies? No, they're mosquitoes. But they fly. Yeah, but they didn't get the name. It's like the .com. If you don't get there early enough, that name's been taken. Well, that's what happened. The flies took over that particular. It's perfect for them. We shouldn't be calling these things airplanes or jets. They're flies. They fly. That's all they do. Their purpose is to fly people around. They're flies. No, they're airplanes. Flies are those little things that die just by looking at them. Well, not me. I don't. I never swat a fly. I never do. I'll go like this, like I do to bees, which also could have been called flies, but we didn't call them that. We called them bees. Anyway, so I don't. But I save the life of flies. I do. All right, that was subject number 1, if you're keeping track. What I've just done is I've killed about 8 minutes on one topic. Now you know how I make the big bucks, right? Do my headphones fit? They feel rather tight. I went to Costco recently. I'm not bragging. I went to Costco, and I looked at all the things that I don't need. That's what I do when I go to Costco. I constantly walk down the aisles and I go, I don't need that many of these things. 80 bottles of ketchup in a box. I don't know if I'm ever going to get through the box before I die. To me, going to Costco is kind of defining how many years of life you have left. Ron, don't buy that. You'll die before you use everything in that carton. Oh, God. It's morose, but true. The only thing I really buy at Costco is toilet paper and paper towels, because I go through those suckers like crazy. I have a dog, and I'm also married, so I go through a lot of paper towels. And Bounty really is the best brand, and I'm not saying that for commercial purposes. It really soaks up a lot of that wet stuff. Toilet paper, always. If I die before I use up that huge box of 100 rolls of toilet paper, I'll simply pass on the toilet paper to my children. A lot of people don't do that in their wills. They don't. They forgot. They forget. Forgot would be the past tense. They forget. Well, that's also the past tense. No, that's present too. They forget to put the toilet paper in the will. Well, they died and there's like cartons of toilet paper. Who gets it? It wasn't specified. Toilet paper you'll always use. Always, no matter what. Older you get, the more you're going to use. So, good investment. Like Staples, which I don't even think sells Staples anymore. I guess they do. Costco should change its name to Toilet Papers and More, because that's all they are. So go to Costco, and when you get out of Costco after standing online for 6 hours, like you're a picket line, for the auto workers union, when you finally get past the registers, there's an area where you can buy hot dogs. Costco has hot dogs for $1.50, but they're not just hot dogs. They are entire cows. These hot dogs, you ever heard of a foot long? No, get out the tape measure. They're a lot bigger than that. They're big and fat. Excuse me, get the kids out of the room. I'm serious. These are huge hot dogs. But they're only $1.50. And I wondered for the longest time, how can they afford to do that? And then I realized they buy gigantic boxes of hot dogs, so they've got a lot of hot dogs. But then to add insult to injury, which is always the case with a law firm, before you can leave the building itself with the Costco stuff. By the way, you can't go to Costco and spend less than $500, and that's not even a lot of stuff. But you're spending at least $500 when you go to Costco. Don't go to Costco if you don't have $500. You cannot afford it. So you spend a lot of money, and then you get to try to leave the building with the stuff you already just purchased, and there's somebody there who I'm not sure has a college education or not, because I don't think it's required, and they check every item on your receipt just to make sure that you're not screwing us here in the store. You're not taking stuff you didn't pay for. Join the club. Now you remember. I don't trust you. I know you remember. You look like a nice person, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I want to see every item in that cart, and I want it to match up to every item in that receipt. And if it doesn't, we're going to kill you. Nice club. Trust. They actually have somebody there to make sure that you're not stealing from the club. It's absolutely ridiculous. So what's the reward for going to Costco? You get those little vendors there in the aisles shoving things with toothpicks in your mouth, or little drinks that you when you drink it, you go, oh, that's good. But in your mind, you're going, that stuff is awful. But you get that hot dog for $1.50, okay? There's another store that lures you in. It's the IKEA place. I still can't pronounce that because I don't understand it. You go into IKEA, and if you're lucky, you'll find a way out. They have these big mazes, and you have to find your way out. That's what IKEA actually is. It's not a furniture kind of store. It's a maze. It's a maze. That's all it is. when you get to the end of IKEA and you're about to leave, you are greeted by meatballs. Yeah, IKEA, I assume is Swedish because what they offer you at the end is a little bunch of Swedish meatballs. Are they extremely tasty? No, not really. I get the hot dog at Costco. I don't get the meatball thing. I don't think people go around in their lifetimes going, if only I could find a good Swedish meatball somewhere. Let's go to IKEA. Who does that? Who does that? Swedish hot dogs? That might work. Meatballs? I've had quite a day of shopping. I have to assemble everything I buy at IKEA. I bought a pencil from IKEA. It came with a pipe of graphite and some yellow wood and a couple of little tip erasers. And when I get home, I have to assemble the pencil. It's amazing, that place. They sell you stuff. They don't even put it together for you. Did you ever buy a car from IKEA? I don't know how to put that together. The instructions aren't even in English. But at the end of the rainbow sits a plate of Swedish meatballs. Ooh. Is that not the topping to my day? Ladies and gentlemen, I have just killed now 16 minutes. That was topic number 2. Apparently we're doing 8 minutes per topic. Let's see what the next one will be. There was some controversy earlier this week. At the end of last week, I don't even know where I am here. The U.S. Senate, you know what that is? You follow politics? Here there's a Senate now. There's a U.S. House of Representatives and there's a U.S. Senate. I know. When did those things start? It doesn't matter. They don't really do anything anyway. In the Senate, there was a decision made by Chuck Schumer, who is the Senate president, to relax the dress code. And the reason he relaxed the dress code is there is a U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman. Nice guy, a very tall man. Could have played basketball, may have, I don't know. Nice guy, really fights for the people. He's loved by his constituency. That's a word you can say, but you can't really ever spell it. He's loved. He's beloved. He had some breakdowns, anxiety, pressures, things like that, and he dealt with it. And now he's back in action. But as a result, he says he feels more comfortable about himself because he went through these mental stress breakdowns. He feels more comfortable dressing casually. To John Fetterman, dressing casually is wearing a hoodie, sweatshirt, and shorts, and sneakers. Okay. You try to be sensitive to people that have gone through a lot in their lives, physically and mentally. But you are a U.S. Senator, sir, and we cannot change all the rules because you're more comfortable not wearing a suit. I think they do make suits his size. I don't know. I think they do. I know they do. But he doesn't feel comfortable wearing them because of what he's been through. I'm not being insensitive. I'm just saying I don't see how the two marry up. I don't see how dressing extremely casually takes care of your mental status. I don't get that. I don't get that. So I'm sorry. Look, there are more pressing things going on in the world and the country than a dress code for the Senate. However, we must uphold our traditions. And there's some very serious crap going on in the Senate and the U.S. House. So I want you to dress as if that is serious. You're also representing the people of the United States. Look like you're taking that seriously. I know you can do your job wearing a hoodie and a sweatshirt and shorts, but it doesn't make me comfortable like that. Ron, the way I dress should have nothing to do with my abilities. Do you ever hear of perception? Do you ever hear that that's a component in all of this? So a lot of the U.S. senators said, the Capitol is a building of tradition and honor and respect. And John Fetterman wasn't even going to all the committee meetings at the Capitol because there was a dress code. So they left the door open so he could hear it from the hallway. Fetterman, come on, man. Put a jacket and tie on and stop this. And that's the way I feel about that. How do you feel about it? I'll never know. I'm serious. I think the way you dress really makes a difference. In his case, he says it doesn't make a difference how he feels. But in my case, as you're representing people of the country, that's part of the job, babe. There's a dress code. Do you think that children can go to school wearing a bathing suit or a bikini? No, there's a dress code. I can't go into a bar at night wearing a hat. And certainly not a hoodie. And not sunglasses. So there are dress codes. You don't go to church wearing a bikini and a hooded sweatshirt. Some do, but you're looked at pretty heavily. There are dress codes for a lot of things. And that's one of them. So, Mr. Fetterman, as much as I admire what you do and what you've been through, I understand. Put a tie on and a jacket, man, and come on. I think you're going to be okay. All right. Last thing I want to talk about today is a fairly sensitive subject, but not really. I happen to be an advocate, and I have been publicly for decades, against bullying. I think bullying is something horrible and disgusting. I believe children that bully, or at least caught on camera doing it, there are cameras all over the place, it's not hard to catch a kid bullying somebody else. I think bullying is a form of assault. And that should be punishable by death. It's in the Bible. If not by death, at least the loss of a finger. Seriously, if you can't teach a kid not to assault and bully other people, then how can they become adults? Because they can't do that in adulthood. You can't do that in the office. You can't do that in the street. You can't do it on the subway. Why can you do it in a schoolyard? Or in front of somebody's house? You can't do that stuff. Teach them early. When you can't say, well, they're just being kids. Boys will be boys. Girls will be girls. Kids will be kids. No, kids will be adults someday. Teach them now. Don't give them excuses like, oh, my child would never bully somebody else. All right, let's watch the tape. Bullying should be outlawed. There's no excuse for bullying in any sense of the word, especially for a child which is in the learning process for life. There's a TV show now, I think it's on ABC, I'm not sure. It's a TV show, and it involves playing pranks on other people. I don't care for having pranks pulled on people, because when you pull a prank on somebody, your objective is to make them look foolish. And when you make them look foolish, your personal selfish reaction is to laugh at what you just did, making that person look foolish. How is that a trait that is admirable at all? It's disgusting. So when I watch these shows, it's like, oh, why are you showing me people that are like disgusting? Well, I like to play jokes on people. Yeah, for your own benefit, babe. That's why you're doing it. It's a selfish kind of thing to do at their expense. And if you think the person you're playing a prank on laughs with you, no, inside, they're not laughing. They feel slighted. They've been tricked. They've been fooled. It ain't a good feeling no matter how you slice it. Don't do that to other people. The greatest pranksters, unfortunately, there's a profession for this, and it's called magicians. Now, I have friends that are professional magicians. Are they the nicest people? Some are, some aren't, like anything else. Are they friends? No, I'll never drive them to the airport or help them move, not even if there's a pizza involved to paint a room. No, so they're not friends in that sense. No, because I won't do that. They're acquaintances. There are people whom I know their name. That's about it. But I have these magician friends, very talented, what they can do with their hands, card tricks. Although, I got to tell you, at a point with magicians, I get a little sick of, is this your card? 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 I get sick of that. Pulling cards out is not entertaining to me. Is this your card? Stop it. Don't say, is this your card, one more time to me. But they're very talented. They are in the business. Here's the punchline. They are in the business of fooling you. They're in the business of tricking you. And when they do that, it's done in the form of entertainment, because we sit back and we can't figure out what they did. They know what they did, so they think they're smarter than you. They're higher on the intelligence level magician-wise than you, and this satisfies magicians greatly. I entertain people by fooling them. All right, I guess we want to be fooled. I guess you do. Yeah, I don't feel slighted when a magician does a trick really well. I consider that a skill. So, I mean, it's not the same as bullying, certainly, and it's not the same as pranking somebody, which is demeaning to the person that you're pranking. But magicians, they're in the business of fooling you. They're in the business of tricking you. You come up to Halloween, we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks here. You come up to the Halloween thing, and you got the trick or treat. If I don't give you a treat, which would be candy, what are you going to do? I will trick you. Trick me to do what? I don't know. Well, so if I don't give you candy, you do a card trick? Is a card trick or treat? Trick or treat, trick or treat. Sorry, you don't have any candy. All right, here's the trick. Is this your card? All right, that's enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I am just about boiled out for the day here. You can listen to me every single weekday. We do a brand new show, a brand new episode. The shows are about half an hour long, similar to this. I do interview people on the program toward the end of those shows, but the beginning of it is like monologue stuff like this. So join me. You can go to newenglandbroadcasting.com, ronvandam.com. We're also on syndicated radio stations. Just Google my name, Betsy Schminelowitz, and you will find Ron Van Dam, and you will find me on all the platforms of the social media world, and again on some of the radio stations that broadcast this crap. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, before you deliberate, I wish you peace.